A man in Ohio has been at the same company for 9 years. 2 promotions, 3 raises. His salary is $14,000 higher than it was in 2021, and every single month he ends up with less money in his account than he did back then. A woman in Texas runs her own business. Revenue is up. She works the same hours. And somehow, she feels financially tighter today than she did when she was making $30,000 less. A couple in Florida did everything right, paid off their car, cut subscriptions, and stopped eating out. Their bank account still looks the same at the end of every month. They cannot figure out why. This is not an inflation story. Inflation is the thing everyone blames. And yes, prices went up. But prices have been going up your entire life, and it never felt like this. Something else is happening. Something that nobody in the financial media is explaining clearly. And once you see it, you cannot unsee it. My name is Victor, and on this channel, I break down the real forces shaping your financial life. Not the surface-level stuff, but the mechanics underneath. If that is the kind of content you want more of, subscribe right now and hit the like button. It genuinely helps this channel reach more people. Today, I want to show you the real reason your money feels like it is disappearing, even when your income has gone up. 3 forces are working against you simultaneously, and inflation is only a small part of one of them. Stay with me to the end, because the third one is the one nobody talks about, and it is probably the most damaging thing happening to your financial life right now. The first force, wage growth, is an illusion. When your employer gives you a 4% raise, you feel like you have moved forward. You did not. In 2022 and 2023, inflation peaked at over 9% annually. A 4% raise during a 9% inflation year is not a raise. It is a 5% pay cut with a ribbon on it. And here is the part that stings. Even now that inflation has cooled, you have not recovered the ground you lost. The damage from those 2 years compounded. Your salary went up in nominal terms. The number on your paycheck got bigger. But your purchasing power, what that number actually buys you, never caught up. The Bureau of Labor Statistics tracks something called real wages. Not what you earn, but what you can actually buy with what you earn. Real wages for the average American worker are still below where they were in early 2021. You are earning more dollars that are worth less. And the gap between those two things is where your money is disappearing. The second force, fixed costs, expanded during the boom, and they never came back down. Here is how this works. When stimulus money hit, when interest rates were at 0, when asset prices were surging, people made decisions based on the world as it was in 2021. They locked in mortgages at higher prices. They signed car leases when vehicles were selling above MSRP. They upgraded apartments because landlords were raising rates everywhere, and they chose the nicer option. They added subscription services, gym memberships, software tools, and streaming bundles. None of those decisions felt reckless at the time, and most of them are now locked in. Your mortgage payment does not go down because inflation cooled. Your car payment does not reset because gas prices dropped. Your rent does not fall because the market softened somewhere else. The fixed costs that expanded during the boom years are still sitting in your budget, exactly where they landed, compounding every month. The average American now spends $219 per month on subscription services alone. In 2018, it was $79. That is not inflation. That is a lifestyle expansion that happened quietly, automatically, and without anyone consciously deciding to spend $140 more a month forever. The third force, and this one is the one nobody is talking about. Debt service costs have quietly become one of the largest line items in American household budgets. Not debt itself. Debt service, the interest you are paying every single month just to stay current. The Federal Reserve raised interest rates 11 times between March 2022 and July 2023. That is the fastest rate hike cycle in 40 years, and the effect on household finances is staggering. If you have credit card debt, and 49% of Americans carry a balance month to month, The average interest rate on that debt is now over 22%, the highest it has ever been in recorded history. A $6,000 credit card balance at 22% interest costs you $110 a month in interest alone. That is $110 you pay every single month and own nothing for it. It does not reduce your balance meaningfully. It does not build equity. It disappears. Multiply that across the average American household carrying $7,951 in credit card debt. Add in auto loan rates that have doubled since 2021. Factor in student loan payments that restarted after a 3-year pause, and you are looking at hundreds of dollars every month, leaving your household just to service debt before you buy a single thing. This is the force you raise never accounted for. This is why the Ohio man with 2 promotions feels poorer. The raises went into a bucket that had a slow leak at the bottom. Every dollar he earned over the last 3 years has been partially offset by interest payments that quietly grew while he was not watching. So what do you actually do with this information? The first step is to stop diagnosing the problem as a spending problem when it is a structure problem. Cutting your coffee order will not fix a $300 a month interest drag. You need to see the actual architecture of where your money goes. Fixed costs, debt service, and then discretionary in that order. The second step is to attack debt service directly and specifically. Not all debt is equal. The highest interest rate first. Every dollar you eliminate from the interest column is a dollar that stops disappearing every single month. That is a permanent raise you give yourself that no employer controls. The third step is to stop accepting nominal income growth as real progress. Negotiate raises against inflation, not just against your prior salary. Understand what your purchasing power actually is, not just what the number on your paycheck says. The people who come out of this period ahead are not going to be the ones who cut the most. They are going to be the ones who understand what was actually happening and restructure accordingly. If this helped you see something differently, the like button is the best way to tell me. Subscribe if you want to keep building this picture, and I will see you in the next one.